All right, let's see. We're gonna share. Boom, boom, boom. Let me see something. Let's share. They're saying you can't go. These motherfuckers not even putting me in. I open it up. It's too crazy. This motherfucker not even putting me in. I open it up. And, yeah, we got a lot of examples. Like, it's so many examples of Lunar Night. I appreciate it. Appreciate that. I got so many examples, man. It's like from all sides. But what my goal is, though, is I want to show people how some of these race hustlers in the POC community, they sound no different than a Triple K member. They sound exactly like them. How do you become the thing that you are against? And that's what's going on today. And what's funny to me is they always talk about how they are not allowed to do certain things. Well, these people are allowed to say a lot of things, because let's think about it. If we had a YT person saying some of the things that that these POC people are saying, they will be canceled immediately. How many of y'all seen stories where somebody was perceived being racist? Like it was just like a joke, or it was like something that wasn't racist, but it sounded, they flipped it and made it racist. How many of y'all see these people lose their jobs? How many of y'all see these people have people in front of their houses protesting because something was perceived racist? You can't even make a joke. You can't even make a joke these days, but they talk about how they can't do anything. Now, can you imagine? I'm getting ready to play a Triple K member on my YouTube channel. Y'all want to come over to the YouTube channel to view it? The link is in my bio. It's right next to the follow button. But I have an interview pulled up of a Triple K member saying the same thing that Black Lives Matter be saying the same thing that some of these new Black Panther people be saying, the same thing Dr. Umar Johnson says. I don't know if y'all know who Dr. Umar Johnson is, but he's a separatist. He doesn't believe that YT people and Black people should be together. And there are a lot of other POC people who say some of the exact same things. They say some of the exact same things. And I'm getting ready to play them here in a minute. We're about to go over it. I don't see Triple K members on the news. I don't see them on CNN, MSNBC. They're not allowed to have a platform. Some people put too much emphasis on the Triple K click, and they have literally no platform to say anything. And I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying they should. But at the same time, though, if I didn't go and look for the interview, I wouldn't realize that, hey, y'all sound just like them. The way that y'all talk about YT people, y'all sound just like these people. We can do a side by side. Black Sugar Queen, they absolutely do not have platforms. Give me the last time you saw a Triple K member get on a national television show to have some of the same views that some of these Black leaders have. Give me an example of the last time you saw this. You talking about they have their own website. Give me the last time that you saw them on the national television news. Give me the last time that you see. They're not even allowed on YouTube. They're not allowed on TikTok. I can't even show y'all the video that I'm playing right now because the image itself would ban my TikTok live. So what are you talking about? They are not allowed to get on anybody's platform. They had to create their own platform that their own people can use so they can say some of the shit that they say, but they're not allowed on anybody's platform saying some of the shit that they're saying and some of the stuff that they believe. But Black people are allowed to get on any national news channel. They're allowed to get on anybody's platform, including this one, and say some mean things to whoever they want to say it to. So what are you talking about? So I say that to say this. Black people are the most protected people in the United States. You can say whatever you want to say with no consequences. Nobody's going to stop you. Nobody's going to come after you. But if a conservative say some things about certain groups of people, if a white person say some things about a certain group of people, they get canceled. I can't even mention a certain group on this TikTok, or they'll ban my TikTok. So what are we talking about? So for this country to be so based on white supremacy, people sure do get on a lot of these platforms and say whatever the hell they want to say about YT people with no consequences behind it. With no consequences behind it whatsoever. Y'all know what's crazy? I just want to bring up some points real quick about how crazy this shit is, right? So we all know we had the eclipse not too long ago, maybe yesterday or something like that, right? Or 2 days ago, something like that, right? And somebody made an article. Let me tell y'all how deep this victimhood goes. Somebody made an article on this website called Capital B News. Let me read y'all the title real quick. The title is Eclipse Fever is Gripping Black Texans. And it says, while the event will cast a brief shadow on life in Texas, it sheds a light on scientific fields that have mainly been out of reach for Black folks. What the fuck does the eclipse have to do with anything racist? Do y'all see how they try to turn everything into the race card? They try to use the race card for every fucking thing. It's ridiculous. It is fucking ridiculous. I'm Black, and I read that and I cringed. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? There are Black people in this scientific field. There are Black people who are astronomers. There are Black people who have became astronauts. The problem is, here's the problem. We have the media, we have the politicians. They don't point out these people. They don't point them out. They only focus on the negative shit so they can blame and make white people look bad. Y'all notice that every time they try to bring up Black people, they only talk about our downfall. They only talk about the negative things that happen to us, but they don't talk about the success that Black people have had in this country. I wish it wasn't even a topic, but since it is, we just got to call it how we see it. They don't talk about the success. They only talk about the downfall. And then they give somebody to blame for the downfall. It's ridiculous. So of course, people like this are not going to talk about how there are Black astronomers, Black people that are astronauts, Black people who are what's the other field in this realm? I forget. It's a bunch of them. It's a bunch of them. But they don't never talk about how there are Black people in science fields. Mathematicians, there you go. There's one. There are Black people. What's homeboy name? I forget. I don't like him no more, but I forget his name though. Neil deGrasse Tyson, I think that's his name. Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like, what about him? He's like the top guy. He's one of them guys. He's one of those guys. Like he's like the face of this shit. Y'all notice how they never ever mention uh, anybody who was in any field that was successful, especially when it comes to politics. If he's a black man or a black woman who is in some sort of position on the Republican side, y'all notice that they don't give them any type of credit and they still call the Republicans racist. Like they can get a black person to be the fucking Supreme Court justice and they will call him a token. They will say he was only picked because the Republicans are trying to save face. Really, bro? Really? Y'all notice how every black person that's on the Republican side is very smart. Like they surpass everything. Like their thoughts, their success, it just succeeds everything that is on the Democratic side. Y'all notice how whenever the Democrats hire black people, they don't believe that there's more. They believe that there's more than two genders. They defend child porn. They defend men going into women's bathroom. I mean, let me stop. Because I'm gonna get banned. Let me stop. Let me chill. This is why y'all need to go subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I can't say what I want to say on here. I can't say what I want to say on here. Like I can go in, but I can't say what I want to say on here, y'all. They gonna get me out of here. So y'all know Donald Trump went to Chick-fil-A in Atlanta. I don't know what day he did that. I'm assuming that it was recent. And I was on Twitter when I saw the video last night. And somebody in the comments said it got to be a setup because why are so many black people working at Chick-fil-A? Like, are you fucking serious? Are these people serious right now, bro? So you see black people working at Chick-fil-A. Donald Trump walks in, and because Donald Trump walks in, you just can't fathom. You just can't fathom that black people work at Chick-fil-A. These people are nuts, y'all. I promise you. These people are crazy. I appreciate it. Affirmative action, Lord have mercy. Well, affirmative action has been changed to DEI, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but from what I read, it kind of sounded like affirmative action to me. But affirmative action, yeah, that's another topic that's quite ridiculous. Um, and this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying about how they think about black people. Y'all remember not too long ago they said that we were not capable as a black people to have IDs to vote, right? So when they went on the street to ask white liberals why do they feel like having voter ID laws is bad for the black community, in their mind we can't afford a fucking $10 state ID to be able to vote. I even heard somebody say that black people are not capable of standing in lines too long. Do y'all know, like I bullshit you now? I wish I was lying about this, but they don't think we are capable of doing anything for ourselves. These people are ridiculous. And then you're gonna have some of those black folks that come in here and go against me and say that, oh, you just shucking and jiving for the white. How am I shucking and jiving for the white man by saying black people, you are more than capable of doing anything that you want to do without anybody's help? Why is it that only black people feel like we need people to help us with shit? It don't matter if they're black, white, Hispanic, there's always somebody that's trying to become a savior for us. It's quite ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like we are the only group of people who need leaders. I never heard of a white leader. I never heard of a Hispanic leader, an Irish leader, a Chinese leader. I don't see nobody else with leaders except our community. We're the only community that need leaders. We're the only community that needs help. We're the only community that needs to have our standards lowered so we can make it in the United States of America. It's quite ridiculous, bro. It's like, are you serious? So you're saying that I can't be successful without your help? Y'all remember? Let me ask y'all, who's ever seen the movie The Color Purple? Who's ever seen the movie The Color Purple? What was okay? What was Oprah's character name? The original. What was Oprah's character name? I think it was like was it Celie? Nah, it wasn't Celie. It was damn, I forget that woman's name in that movie. Y'all let me know what Oprah's character's name was in fucking Color Purple. Cause I forget. Hold on real quick. Let me look that shit up. What was her name? It wasn't Celie. It was Sophia. That was her name. Sophia in The Color Purple. This was. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all want to know what a white liberal looks like, go watch The Color Purple and go to the scene where Sophia. This is Oprah's character, right? Go to the part where Sophia is in town. I don't remember what she was in town for, but she was with her son, and this white lady walked up on them and said something of the lines of, "You want to work for me? Do you want to work for me?" And the way that she was coming up to Sophia was, she thinks Sophia needs her help. She thinks Sophia needs her help because she's black, and she thinks she's poor. She thinks Sophia can't handle herself. See, this is where they were trying to break Sophia down, because if y'all ever watched the movie, Sophia was actually self-reliant. She could protect herself. She could defend herself. She was very outspoken, right? But when this white woman came up to her, she was trying to help this woman as if she couldn't help herself. And because she denied her help, y'all know what happened when she denied her help? She went to go get her husband and the police, and they beat this woman up. They put her in jail, and then she ended up being the help for this white woman. Now, why do I tell this story? Why do I say this? Well, this is what a white liberal does. You see, white liberals, they're going to help you. They're going to help you as long as they get help themselves. As long as they're benefiting from helping you, they're going to help you. And guess what? If you don't want their help, they're going to beat you down. This is why I've seen white liberals come in here and call me the N-word with the ER at the end, because I don't agree with them. What are we talking? What are we saying? This is what they do. And y'all notice that white liberals only want to help people when it benefits them. This is why they can't be trusted. How can I trust a person who say they have white privilege? What does that mean? You have to use your white privilege to help me. Are you trying to say that your voice is bigger than mine? Are you trying to say that you can get things done and I can't? So I need your help to get the things done that I want to get done? These people are literally racist, but trying to say that they're not racist. These people are nuts.
White kid lady that was sad. She was somewhere in the airport with friend and she had to use a white privilege, something else like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember her. Yeah, I remember.
Because it's funny, man. They think that they have this white privilege that they're gonna protect their black friends or illegal friend. Yeah, it's insane, man.
It's insane because they are literally saying, "Hey, I know you're not capable of defending yourself because you're black, so I'm going to step in. We don't need you to step in, liberal.
Right.
We don't need you to step in. I can defend myself. I can speak for myself." It's almost like they think we're children. But bro, I'm glad you came up today because I wanted to play something for you and get your thoughts on this, right? So we about to switch it up real quick. We about to switch it up real quick. Who is this? Cuzzo, do I know you in real life?
That's Gio. That's Gio, but I just wanted to tell Ubi, man, keep up the good fight, man. Like I saw you live earlier, man, and I just want you to say, stay true to your word, be impeccable, and be the leader that you know you are. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them bring you to the battle, get you down, brother. Yeah, likewise, man. Yeah. I got that Papi Chulo privilege, you know, Puerto Rican type shit, you know. Is that real?
Shit, man, might as well be the way these people talk. I want to play something. I want to play something real quick because these. Look, let me tell y'all something, man. So okay, y'all know we got these people in these black groups, right? They are racist, in my opinion. They say they can't be racist, right? But in my opinion, they are. You can't say the same things that I hear a Triple K member say and not be racist. When it comes to interracial dating, when it comes to sending your kids to school, Dr. Umar we just looked at a video of Dr. Umar. He said he doesn't want to send his kids to school with other races, which is why he's creating the school that he says he's going to create in the first place. We have who's the other pro-black dude? David Banner, the former rapper, producer. He's now on his pro-black journey. He said that he doesn't want to. He wants to see kids go to HBCUs because in his mind that should be the only option for a black student. They should only go to HBCUs. He feels like they shouldn't go to school with white people. And then you have Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed literally does what eugenics did back in the day. He uses science to try to make another group of people seem like they're inferior to another group of people. That's what racist people do. So I'm about to play this clip for y'all. If you want to watch it, if you want to watch it visually, you got to go to the YouTube. I'm streaming on YouTube right now, but I'm gonna play this video, and this is a Triple K member talking about how he feels about the black race. But he also says a lot of shit that I agree with too, though. That's the funny part. That's the fucked up part. We're not even allowed. See, this is why it's important. This is why free speech is important. These people aren't hurting anybody, but they should be allowed to say what they want to say because regardless of what he thinks, we all can agree and disagree on things. And of course, I disagree with mostly everything he said on here, but he does say some things that people on here might agree with. But let's check him out real quick. Let me see. We're going to go to the basis of the Klan.
What aspects is Christianity that is the basis of the Klan?
Well, I'm Southern Baptist.
Okay.
I'm basically Baptist. I mean, there's Methodist, Presbyterians, you know, no Catholics. I mean, it's.
And you are a Imperial Wizard or a Grand
No,
Dragon?
I'm a Grand Dragon. I'm over North Carolina and South Carolina.
Oh, you do? Okay. And what is it?
Now, hold on. Let me. So he's in North Carolina, right? That's where his clique is based out of. Now, here's the crazy part. We always talk about how white this country is and how much they protect white supremacists, right? This dude is scared to take his mask off. He's scared to take his fucking mask off in a white supremacist country. Keep in mind, this country can't be that goddamn white supremacist. Like, it can't be that based on racism. If a grand wizard is scared to take his fucking mask off on YouTube.
What is a Grand Dragon?
It's the state officer. I'm over the state, and I'm right under the Imperial Wizard, you know.
So what is it about African Americans that you want them to be separate?
Okay, here it is. He's asked, what is it about African Americans that you want them to be separate? Can you hear it, Ubi? Is it clear?
Yeah, I can hear it.
All right.
Well, I don't think God intended for them to be mingling with us, and especially breeding with the white race. I mean, it brings about a mongrel race. I mean, a mulatto color. I mean, nothing makes me any sicker than to see a little kid running around and their skin's just yellow. I mean,
Who does that sound like? Who does that sound like, y'all? If I was gonna say, if I go pull up a side by side with him and Dr. Umar, we're gonna hear some of the similar things that was just said.
Right. I've actually heard people on this house, trying to use science, to say that black race and white don't mix and all that, and say your race is superior, and it sound like the Klansman.
Definitely do. Definitely sound just like him.
But black people can't be racist.
Exactly.
So all the racist shit, but we cannot be racist.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, bro, if I'm gonna play a side by side with him and some other people, bro, they literally sound just the same.
you know, a mulatto color. I mean, I wouldn't feel so bad about the blacks if our government wasn't pushing them down our throat. Just like in the 60s, I mean, they pushed them down our throat in the schools and, you know, cafes, restaurants. I mean, it's just something that I don't think should have ever happened.
So in his mind, he thinks that they shouldn't have pushed black people down their throats. Now, I'm inclined to believe this is what happened, just based off of his experience. Maybe this is how he sees things. I think he was, like a part of me feel like they were doing the same thing that they do with any other group, where nobody's even really thinking about it. Everybody is minding their business. Of course, you got some people who don't like whoever, right? But I think they're doing the same thing. They did the same thing with us that they probably did with the you know who people. Starts with an L, and I can't, starts with an L. And I think people were minding their business, and they understood. They had a understanding that, hey, you stay over here, we stay over here, and we're gonna go about our business. I think both groups had an understanding, but I think the government got involved in that, and this is where the division came. I think we were probably more united when everybody just minded their business. That's what I think. That's what I think happened, but I don't know. But what I will say is though is that the government was involved in a lot of these civil rights movements and stuff like that. I don't think these movements were actually genuine. I think there was a purpose behind them. There was some agenda behind them, and that's why we are where we are today. I think over time, when people evolved, I believe that we would have evolved out of that mindset that people had back in the 60s. Because a lot of people like to try to say that it was only the white people who didn't want to hang out with the black people, but a lot of black people didn't want to hang out with them either. It went both ways. It went both ways.
Because I hear stories, you know what I mean, of like my friends, you know what I mean, they'll tell me, oh shit, my grandparents, my parents told me to stay away from them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't bring back a white woman.
Same here.
Don't bring back, this and that. You know, stay away from them.
Yeah. Yup, same here.
What is this white boy doing? You know what I mean?
Yup.
Things like that. We're staying away, man. I went to a school that was segregated. And you think it's legal, it's illegal, right?
Yeah.
But you know, you got the whites, and you know, like you might have some white, eating dinner or something like that, but mostly because they were like basketball team or something. Other than that, man, people were their own tribe. The Chinese were with the Chinese, you know what I mean?
Yup.
I mean,
people just that.
Right, and then the forced integration on the way. That's what the government did. Forced integration.
And yup, that only made people divided even more, really. That's what I'm saying. I think as people evolved, I believe that we either would have got better or we didn't. But once they start forcing integration, that's when the feelings start coming into play. That's when people start getting upset. That's crazy, man. That's why when he said that, I was like, I kind of believe him because they're doing this with other groups.
Because even Malcolm was saying that, you know, like you can't force integration. That's what the government was doing.
Yeah.
This the South was known as a Democrat, but back then they're not like called Democrat, they're called Dixiecrat.
Yeah. Yeah, the Dixiecrats, yeah.
Yeah, they're forcing and they're forcing integration.
It's crazy. I think they knew what they were doing, bro. I think they forced integration so they can so because I feel like they knew people were going to be angry about that. I think they knew people would be upset about that because as y'all can see though, as time moved forward, as time moved on, people did get better. People got better. Like some people grew up and they were like, man, that shit is whack. And here's the crazy part about it though. This is what a lot of people don't know. During the bus segregation situation back in the 60s, did y'all know that a lot of these bus station owners, they wanted to desegregate themselves because they were losing out on money. They were losing out on money when people stopped riding the bus. So I think eventually people would have been like, you know, this shit is stupid. It's keeping my business low. But at the same time, black people, we not making it better with the culture that we indulge in either. We making motherfuckers not want to deal with us. We making motherfuckers not want to even bring businesses to our communities and deal with us on that basis. This is why it's important for us to change the way that we think today, because we did not think this way that we do today back in the day whatsoever. Somebody said Trump made it about race. No, that would be Barack Obama who made it about race. That's when the shit started going down south. That wasn't Donald Trump. Donald Trump didn't bring anything about race whatsoever. Not one time in his fucking presidency did he make anything about race. But Barack Obama and Michelle Obama did. They sure did. Even though before Barack Obama became president, he was asked, if you don't become a president, do you think it's because the country is racist? He said, no, I don't think it's because the country is racist. I think it's because I didn't deliver. And then as soon as he became president, around 2014, 2015, he started making everything about race. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? So what? So what? Trump said, look at my African American over there. So what? Was I supposed to be offended by that? I'm sorry, I wasn't offended by that. That's not something that I was offended by.
No, bro. I feel like they just trying to find that reason.
It's a fact. They love being offended.
That is true.
He said, Trump said the lights are too bright. All I see is black faces. So what? So what? Because he said, so he making it about race because he said my African American over there. But y'all was calling this man racist before he even got into office. But he making everything about race. The moment this man stepped down that motherfucking escalator, y'all call him racist. But he making everything about race. Y'all was calling this man a racist, even though he done disavowed the white supremacists who supported him like 30 something times. I think it was the video said where they played the clip of every time he said he didn't support them, and y'all still continue to call him racist. So of course he gonna say, look at my African American homie right there. Of course he gonna say that because he needs to let people know, look, y'all motherfuckers got the wrong person. Hold on, here's the crazy part, and this part keeps being brought up, but it's not being brought up enough. Nobody was calling Donald Trump racist until he became president. Nobody started calling him racist until he became president in 2016. Where was all this energy at for him before? Oh, I know why y'all didn't have the energy for him, because he was fucking with the black folks and the black folks was fucking with him. That's why y'all didn't have that energy with him. He was on Tony Yayo. He was invited to Tony Yayo's radio show. He pulled up. Mike Tyson told a story where Donald Trump was the only person that supported him when he got caught up on that case back in the 90s. He bought him up. He got him a lawyer. He made sure he was straight. He defended him while he was locked behind bars. Everybody else was calling this man everything but a child of God. And Donald Trump was the only person that was defending him, but y'all calling him racist. These people are crazy, bro.
I mean, shit, Trump grew up in New York. Compared to Joe Biden and bragging about his home state being a slave state.
Y'all notice that Joe Biden grew up everywhere. He grew up with the Puerto Ricans, the Irish.
Right.
He grew up with the blacks. He grew up in the synagogue. He grew up with the Muslims. He grew up with every damn body. He grew up with everybody. There and ain't no evidence of it. He said he was part of the civil rights movement. That was a lie. There was no evidence of that. His own side even said there's no evidence of that.
Wait, did you see a video of Joe Biden out of Black Church? And he looked mad confused.
He was nervous.
He was invited by the Georgia senator, the pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he invited Biden, and man was he didn't even know where he was. He was mad confused, man.
Of course.
What's going on?
Oh yeah.
Talking about he grew up out of Black church, man. You know how Black churches are.
Of course. But the reason why he looked so out of place is because he know he wasn't there for the right reasons. He was there to get a vote. That's why he was there. You notice everywhere Donald Trump go, he himself. Donald Trump is his damn self. Even the video he came out with not too long ago with the people at Chick-fil-A. He bought, first of all, he bought all the motherfuckers a milkshake. And he said, chicken on me. I ain't never seen a president do that. But see, Donald Trump got his own money, though. That's how you know he ain't sweating it. He ain't sweating that little money that he got. But even while he's there at the Chick-fil-A, he's surrounded by black people. First of all, the black people was fucking with him as soon as he came in. Ain't nobody say, get out. He's a racist. He's this, he's that. They ain't say that. They was fucking with Donald Trump. They was embracing that man. Let's start there. Secondly, he do the same shit. Everywhere he go, when he run in the campaign, he say and do the same thing. He ain't no different. Somebody said Trump is broke. That's hilarious. Trump broke. Please. I'm putting in Chief Key. What the fuck am I on? I do want to play something real quick though. Just to remind people who we dealing with. Where it said, here you go.
That you always carry with you.
Hold on, y'all.
What's something that you always carry with you?
I know y'all remember this.
Oh yeah, black guys put hot sauce on everything.
Simply press the button on this side of the watch. It delivers a rather liberal spritzing of hot sauce. One blast should be enough to make Caucasian food edible.
Hot sauce in my bag. Hot sauce in my bag. Hot sauce in my bag.
Yo, hot sauce, he just pulled up on you. Guard up now, hot sauce. Get him back, Sizzle. Oh, baby.
Now.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Are you getting information right now?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce in my bag, Swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I just want you to know people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people.
Okay. Is it working?
Yeah.
Is it working? See, what they played though before they played this actual part was they were just showing that black people put these stereotypes on themselves. So you got these movies that are directed, written by, and produced by black people, and they put these stereotypes in these clips, in these movies, in these skits themselves. So the skit that, or the idea that black people put hot sauce on everything, it really comes from ourselves, except for the Family Guy clip. Of course, that's a different story. But for the most part, black people do this shit to ourselves. Like, we don't have to, like white people don't have to wear blackface no more, right? They don't have to do those caricatures no more. We do that shit to ourselves. We got the gold teeth. We put the gold teeth in our mouth. We act the fool on our own time. We don't need nobody's permission to act the damn fool. Nobody has to portray us acting the fool. We do it by ourselves pretty damn well. Pretty damn well. So, I don't know, man.
Stereotypes. Yeah, man. Those are how we act, man. Those are not stereotypes.
They ain't stereotypes.
There was a lady yesterday. She was in battle. She was saying she's successful. She works for corporate America, but she's still seen as a stereotype. People think that she's loud and ghetto and all that till she talks proper or doesn't act that way.
Yeah.
And then they'll act surprised. I'm like, then they compliment her on, being educated and, being well spoken. And she was offended about that. stereotypes of black stuff. Because they think black women are loud and ghetto and all that. I'm like, well, shit, that's how they're acting.
That's how it is.
It's almost, stereotype. Like even the stereotype of Asians, right? Not all, but some Asians can drive, or not. Asians can, they can drive. There are not all. There are some Asian drivers, Asian people that they can drive, but stereotype is based on truth. There's some truth to it.
No, that's a fact though, because it's like
you got people going teeth and psyching their parents and like being loud,
being obnoxious.
playing their music, bumping their music when they drive by. I'm like,
It's just
those are not stereotypes.
nah, it's not. And the crazy part about it is we portray ourselves in that manner too. Like we portray ourselves in that light. Look at the type of media that we consume. Look at the type of images we love to consume. Who do y'all think the biggest consumers of the show Power and Empire and what's that other show? Snowfall. All these shows about black drug dealers, black murderers. Well, who do you think the biggest consumers of this? Then you got the Fight Club, or not Fight Club, Bad Girls Club, Love and Hip Hop. Look how the women in our community are portrayed. Like, what are we talking about? We do this on our own. We do this on our own time. We act the fool on our own time. Nobody want to talk about it though. Y'all don't believe me? Tuh. I can play clips. Y'all want me to play clips? I can go in. Like I watch this shit all day. She said the educated entrepreneur women. Tuh. Is that what you want to call them? Is that what you want to call them? I mean, can you call them that? The ones with multiple baby daddies fighting over a man, getting cheated on. You talking about them? Yeah, okay. Call them what you want to call them. Call them what you want to call them, but they a representation of something. Can't get married, can't keep a man. They go through the same. It's funny how they make all that money, but they act the same way as the people that are a regular average person on the ground. That means money don't mean nothing. That means your education don't mean nothing. Ignorance is ignorance. That's what they do. They can have all the money in the world. But they still act like the average person on the ground. Sad.
Right. I mean, there's some, black women, but I feel like those are older ones, wiser ones. The younger ones, there's between like the age of 10 to like 30, man, they don't know how to act. And none of them how many degrees they have.
Nope, it sure don't. I think the more degrees they got, the worse they are. The more educated they are, the worse they are. Because they think they better than everybody. These women are so educated, right? But they going through baby daddy drama every episode. How you so educated, but you picked a man that's not good for you? I don't understand that. Every episode they fighting, they loud, they obnoxious, they ghetto, they out of pocket. You can't put that on me. I watched the shows. I watched them before. I watched them.
Yeah, I watched Empire. It was nice, but it's always some ratchetness.
It's some ratchet shit because that's the type of images we love to consume as a people. We love low vibrational shit. That's why we consume it the most. She said white trash TV is the worst. Here's the crazy part, though. White people don't defend this behavior. They don't defend this behavior. We will defend it. We will defend it to the death. We will go to the edge of the earth to defend this shit every fucking time. Every time. I'll give you an example of how bad we are when it comes to defending bad behavior in our community. Just recently, a man was unalived by the police, right, in Chicago. His name was Dexter Reed. These people in this community are acting a fool over this man getting unalived by the police. But what they're not going to tell you is he shot at the police first. It's on video. They don't care about that. It's because he's black. And here, bro, I'm about to pull up a clip and I'm about to find this. This was a 60-minute clip, right? It was on the show 60 Minutes where they do an interview, right? There was a juror. They were interviewing one of the jurors for the O.J. Simpson case. I don't know if anybody not familiar. I'm pretty sure most people here are, but O.J. Simpson was a football player. He bodied somebody, 2 people. Girl he was dealing with, and her lover, the lover she was dealing with on the side, right? Apparently, he allegedly bodied these 2 people, right? So they were going in on it about the case or whatever. One of the jurors that was on the case got interviewed, and what came out of her mouth is crazy, bro. She said that the reason why she voted that he was not guilty, and this is out of her own words, she said it was payback for Rodney King. I bullshit you not. I bullshit you not. Now, Rodney King, y'all don't know who Rodney King is. He was one of the first big cases on police brutality. Now, a lot of y'all asking, well, why did Rodney King get beat on like that, right? This motherfucker took them on a high-speed chase while he was drunk. He took these officers on a high-speed chase. They don't tell you that part. They always put it on the police. Oh, the police just beat him because he was black. They beat him because he was this, he was that. No, he took them on a high-speed chase, bro. Do y'all know how dangerous a high-speed chase is? Y'all know how many children then got ran over because somebody was trying to run from the police? What are we talking about?
Right. And they don't mention things like that. They're only looking at the race. Oh, he was black, so he was automatically innocent. He was a good, upstanding citizen, and the cops just unalive him because he was black. The Higgins cowards. No, that's not what happened. Tell the full story.
No, they're not gonna tell the full story, bro. That's dead. Somebody said no justification. Hey, you know what else is no justification for? Is taking the police on a high-speed chase while you're drunk. And then he was a multi defender on top of that. That wasn't his first time doing that. He was an alcoholic. But instead of teaching your kids to not act a fool around police, instead of teaching your kids how to be productive citizens of society, you teach them that they need to be afraid of police officers instead of telling them to behave in a manner that won't draw their attention by police. It's crazy work. I say he deserved it. I don't care. I've seen too many articles of kids getting ran over by people trying to run from the police. Too many kids getting hit in the backseat of the car. People getting unalived. Families getting unalived. Wiping out a whole family because you T-bone the family running a red light because you're trying to get away from the police. I have no sympathy for people who take police on a high-speed chase because you too much of a coward to pull over and accept your consequences. I have no remorse. I think that should be fucking by default. You take the police on the police chase, that's your ass. I feel the same way about chomos grapists, child unalivers. The same way I feel the same way about people who take police on a high-speed chase. You deserve everything that comes your way. Oh yeah. Pretty much. You signed up for that. You signed up for that, buddy. I don't care who feels some type of way about what I said. I really don't. We right now in today's time, today's climate, we get way too much remorse and understanding to criminals who don't deserve it. They don't deserve any type of remorse. Criminals, not regular people, criminals. Just seen a story, right? We just saw a story. And I sent this shit to Ubi not too long ago. There was a man who should not have been out of jail. He went to jail originally for, I believe he held his girl hostage, beat her up, set her privates on fire for hours and hours. She escaped. He went to jail. He got let out on bail. Y'all know why they put no cash? Y'all know why they do this to people? Because he was black. Y'all know why they got no cash bail in these democratic cities? Because they feel like when black people go to jail, they are more likely to stay behind bars because they can't afford to get out of jail. So they let them out. So they let them right out, all on the basis of their skin color, just because they're black. Well, guess what? That law was the cause of another death. 2 more deaths, actually. So he got let out of jail, right? He went to his mama house. Hold on, his mama got him out of jail. Let's keep that in mind. His mama got him out on bail. He went back home with his mama. They got into an argument, and he stabbed that woman to death. He stabbed his own mother to death. Then he beat her boyfriend to death. All because they wanted to let him out of jail because he black. He black. And he couldn't pay for his own bail. That's how they think. They don't care. Oh, in some states, they don't even consider the fact that you might be a high risk. The judge is not allowed to consider that. So they let you out on no bail, or they let you out on low cash bail. That's what they doing now.
Well, especially on Democrat cities or states.
Yep. Especially in democratic states and cities. Especially democratic cities. They the worst. They let out these people who killing our babies, who killing these women. They killing pregnant women and all that shit. They go to jail for it. They come back out and they do some more. They even letting out chomos. Nobody want to talk about that part though, because y'all think these fucking rules are helping black people when they're actually hurting everybody. They're not just hurting black people. They're hurting everybody. Nobody's grandma, nobody's grandfather, nobody's husband, wife, sister, brother. I don't care what race you are. Nobody should have to look over their shoulder because y'all want to let a fucking criminal out because he's black or because he's Hispanic. That shit is ridiculous, bro. And we do that to ourselves because we defend these criminals. Whenever somebody get into it with a police officer, y'all don't wait till the fucking details come out. Y'all automatically start protesting. Y'all automatically start rioting, and y'all get outraged all because he black. But y'all don't look at the fact that this person was an evil person. Y'all don't look at that. Get some. That's exactly right. My bad. Go ahead, Ubi.
I saw the video, man. I had so mom is well now, like she got alive, and the poor girl, man. I mean, I encourage people to carry, man. Like, if you can legally, to carry.
Yep. That's another thing.
And I mean, hey, that dude, bro, like, he either deserves to be locked up or the death penalty.
I agree. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Like, I don't have any remorse for criminals who do these things. And we don't even care about the kids and none of that. We don't care about the women, the elderly. And y'all say, and the crazy part about it is y'all say y'all love black men and y'all want to protect black men, but black men are also the most likely to be victims of these crimes out of anybody. Out of anybody, we the biggest target. But y'all don't care. Y'all just let these criminals back out and they just go keep on doing what they do. And it is what it is though. But don't get salty because y'all be voting for this shit. Y'all be protecting and defending these people. Everybody was caring about Rodney King because he got beat up, but nobody was talking about what if this motherfucker would have crashed through your house and hurt one of your kids because he was drunk. Go ahead, Ubi, my bad.
Yeah, there was someone who was telling me calling the cops on a black guy, on a black man that's anti-black and things like that. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Yeah, it's like, I don't care what race you are. You break the law, you break, commit a crime, I'm calling the police.
Like, yeah, that's a fact. That is a fact.
Snitching, you can't snitch, you can't call the cops on the black man or no.
Shit is crazy. I remember when I went on one of your lives, I was talking about how I knew police officers and I actually spoke to them about their job and asked them questions. He was trying to clown me for doing that. Oh, you just talking to police? How many people you get locked up in the hood? Like what? What? I guess I'm just getting old, bro. Like I'm getting old. So I don't have that same mentality that I had back in the day where I felt like I couldn't talk to the police. Like our community, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. This is what people don't really talk about this a lot. Our community teaches people in our own community the wrong shit. It's like they don't teach us in our community that we can do everything everybody else can do. Let me give you an example. I was thinking about one time that I was old enough to buy like a shotgun or some shit like that, right? At the time that this happened. But you know what I did instead? I went to go buy one off the street from somebody who stole one because I wanted to defend myself. I didn't have any intent on doing nothing crazy. I just wanted to defend my household. But it didn't cross my mind that I can go purchase a gun legally. So instead, I'm thinking I gotta go out here on the street and get one from somebody who who's selling illegal shit. I didn't even know that I could go buy one legally, bro. Like, or if I did know, I didn't think that. I don't know why I didn't think that. But in our community, we don't even think to go buy a gun legally. We don't think that we can go to a store and actually put one in our name to be a legal gun owner and participate in your Second Amendment right. We don't even think that. Why is that though? Like, why is it that we only think we can go get some bullshit, a gun from somebody illegally? And when I was thinking about that, I'm like, because most of the time I'm hanging around knuckleheads who don't know shit about life because they've been in the hood their whole fucking life. So they grow up and teach the youth how to do dumb shit. And this is why the youth end up going to prison. This is why the youth end up getting into trouble, selling drugs, bodying people. And then the culture and the cycle just continues. It wasn't until I started hanging around white people that I knew that I could. I knew that I could do it, but just to have the idea, I had to hang around some white folks in the country when I moved to North Carolina. When we were going to the gun range with my homeboys, Steven and them, we was doing all of this shit we in the backyard shooting at his uncle's yard and shit. Like, this is when I knew, oh, I can actually go buy a gun. I don't have any felonies. I can be a legal gun owner. My bad. Go ahead.
Because people don't know the law, or they don't trust it. They're not taught it. And it's easier finding out that you on the streets, block point, whatever. Instead of buying it legally.
Yeah.
Not thinking about the consequences.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't thinking about the consequences. That's the crazy part. So imagine if I would have got bagged with that shotgun I had. I probably would have did 3.5, 4 years in prison. That's mandatory because it's a gun that I'm not supposed to have. I can't even legally defend myself with that gun because if somebody was to break into my house, right, and I was to drop them, I have to call the police. I have to. So when the police get there, they might not charge me with the body, but they will charge me with having an illegal firearm. Because the gun was stolen. It didn't belong to me. So I probably would have got bagged on that, and I probably would have got bagged on receiving stolen property. So I would have did probably 4 years. It's crazy. Doing dumb shit.
Hey, if you have a criminal record, you shouldn't be buying.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
If you do, you're just making things worse for yourself.
That's pretty facts. You can't be walking around with no fucking firearm with a criminal record. They're gonna put 3 years plus more. Cause now, okay, you got a firearm you're not supposed to have. I forget what they call that. But you got a firearm that you're not supposed to have, and it's a firearm carried by a felon. That's more time on top of that. And then if you selling narcotics too, you might as well just go ahead and hang it up. You might as well hang it up. It's over for you.
First, like I said, I believe it's a choice. Making a choice to commit crime. See, all comes down to a choice. You don't have to commit crime. You don't have to sell drugs in your community. You don't. You're making that choice.
Yes,
right? It's the easy way out. You want to make quick cash. You're still making that choice. Choosing that life. You can move out. It's not your person. It doesn't cost much. You don't have a car, there's public transportation. Ask someone for a ride. I don't know, like just get a job at a convenience store. Doesn't take much.
That's a fact though, because I remember somebody was like, "What if?" Because we brought up public transportation, and somebody was like, "Well, what if they ain't got no money to get for public transportation?" Shit, I was asking people for rides, bro. Like if I needed to go to a job interview or something, I was asking people for rides and shit because motherfuckers will fuck with you if you actually doing something productive. Hey, I ain't got no money yet, but shit, if I get this job, I got you. I'm just trying to get a job. If they fuck with you, they'll give you a ride, bro. This is why black people need to stop being the way that they are. Stop having them fucking attitudes toward people and actually be sociable people. You don't have to kick it with motherfuckers in the hood all day, especially if they themselves ain't doing shit with themselves. Why would you want to continue to hang with them?
Yeah, public transportation's like what? $1, $3, like less than $5.
Like $2. It's something crazy like that.
I think, I don't know if the real baby, I don't know if it's going to come out.
Hold on.
What's the real baby? Is there anything you want to say?
Not reading everything about race and growing up Shakespeare. I agree. But I'm going to tell you what people are going to say. People are going to say, well, you know, slavery. They're going to say, you know, they're going to say all these things that kept Black people from progressing. Now, my question to you, are those excuses?
Yeah, those are excuses. 100%.
You're saying because of those things, you can't move forward?
Well, you say because of those things we can't move forward? No, I don't think those things have nothing to do with anybody's life today whatsoever.
Okay. So my question is, do you think it affects us? Because but I said that because that's what the excuses are. Most people will say, well, you know, they're not going out to look for a job, they're not doing anything, but they'll say, well, you know, they redline and they, you know, you can't get a loan, but they have never once even applied for a loan.
Right. Most of them who say they never have.
Trying to get a job, but then they'll say, oh, they're not hiring. But see, they don't want to work at McDonald's. They don't want to work at, you know, places that most people like is low, don't pay a lot of money. Sometimes you got to start off somewhere.
Yeah.
Before you can start at the top. You can't start at the top with no foundation. You got to get educated or have a trade. You just can't be like, oh, I'm gonna be a millionaire. Millionaires don't just happen like that.
No, they don't. Most people don't even become that rich until they like in their 50s and 60s. Like most people that I've talked to who do got that money, they work nonstop 24/7 until they were up in age.
Unless family gave you wealth and they pass it on.
Right.
That, you have to work for it.
Yeah. And it's not easy.
Work for it. It's not easy. But see, what I want to tell people is you got to stop making excuses, because then you play into the game that the quote-unquote white man, since they say they are suppressing us, you're falling into that. Because if you say, I can't make it because they're suppressing me, that's what they want you to believe so that you don't make it.
Right. I agree.
Then you'll never move.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
we have to get out that mindset. We have to get out that mindset of, because I know I grew up in the hood. I'm from New York. I grew up in the hood. I grew up poor. But I went to school. I got educated. You know, it's not sometimes where you're from. You know, we are a product of our environment, but what's being taught in the household is important too. You know, when you see these kids out here, what you let your kids consume on TV with sexy reds and all this stupidity. Wonder why young Black girls are acting the way that they're acting. I mean,
I just recently saw. I'm sorry, I was going to say, pointing out, because you mentioned Sexy Red. She actually got plans on going to a high school pretty soon. So that's to perform. Not to talk to anybody. She's performing. That's even worse. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think any of her songs are consumable for children.
They're not. That's the crazy part.
That's sad. That we are that poor of a people that those are our role models for our children. That's sad.
Yeah.
She would never step foot in a school that I ran. There's no way. This is bad.
you know, when I was in school, we had like people used to come and talk to us, but it wasn't nobody like that. We had people who like they changed their life, they turned their life around, and they just wanted to see us do better and shit like that. These kids nowadays, they bring the bullshit to them. They bring the bullshit to them now. It's crazy.
But you know what? I mean, I'm older, and I'm 54.
Okay.
When I grew up, things on TV, you couldn't even see. Well, first of all, everybody didn't have TVs back then. But if you did have a TV, there were only certain channels, and you didn't see kissing. None of those things were seen on TV, because what you see affects how you will live. We didn't have that. You learned through like Sesame Street, all these stations, PBS and stuff. You got educated like that. If you didn't, if you went to school, but you learned as well. So I don't see. I think television has a major problem. A major problem to the point where we are pushing. I don't know. See, it's so scary. You don't know what to say because if you say the wrong thing, the L community gets upset.
Yeah.
Even if telling the truth.
Yeah.
They get upset. They're like bullies sometimes. They are now bullying people.
Yeah.
They claim that they were the fearful heterosexuals.
Yeah, they actually that's the part that's amazing me too. It's like when they were doing the whole Black Lives Matter thing, if y'all ever went on their website, they were pushing more of that agenda than what they say they made the movement for. It was just a whole lot of disrupting the nuclear family, more ill, you know what I'm saying, more of that group agenda. They were like trying to push that to people more than they were, police brutality. There was nothing about police brutality on their website whatsoever, like not one thing. So
wow.
You
knew what the Black Lives Matter were founded by, who they were founded by.
Yeah.
So of course they're gonna put that agenda.
Of course, right.
So it's so sad. It really is.
Yeah.
People felt for that. I felt like this, and this is just how I feel. I believe Black Lives Matter. And again, I believe all lives matter. But I feel like if we really felt Black Lives Matter, that means Black men should live. Black people should live. They should, I got to find the right word. Unalived.
Yeah.
Then why we should be marching every single day in the Black neighborhoods? We should be marching every day. Every day there is a Black man unalived by another Black man. We should like crazy every day. Listen, today I live in Philadelphia. We do know it's a National Muslim Day Eid, right? So it's the last day of Ramadan, and they all gathered downtown. 5 suspects shot 3 people in a crowd of kids. The shooters were 15, 17, and 22.
Wow.
It's supposed to be a celebration because Philly, like 80% of Philadelphia is Muslim.
Yeah.
They just shot up the celebration today. This is what I'm talking about. So what do we do? What do we do? All these people talking about, I don't see nobody. Where's the protest? But no, everybody asks for the police to take care of something that we're supposed to take care of. You know why? Because the people out there shooting is probably your son, it's probably your nephew, it's probably your brother, it's probably your father. So they're not going to tell.
Yeah, that's a fact.
They'll say it's proximity. It's because you're close to them that it's happening, but not at the rate that it is happening. Exactly. We gotta stop being delusional. Yes, there is a proximity. Yeah, if you're in a white community, wherever you are, if there's crime and it's mainly those people in that community, and there's crime, it'll probably be more likely committed by them. We're not saying that doesn't happen. We're talking about the percentage of it happening in our community. We gotta stop worrying about everybody else's community. Worry about what's going on in our home.
Or they try to say per capita. They try to say per capita. They like, well, you got to look at per capita, but if you want to look at per capita, 4,100 per, it's 4,100 per 100,000 for blacks, and it's like 20 something thousand or 2,000 something for white people per capita. So even if we look at it per capita, we still have a higher rate in our community.
You gotta go by percentage. Go by percentage, not the actual number.
Right.
Go up by the percentage of the people. We're higher, and if we don't see that, then we just want to be ignorant.
Right. Yeah.
Because we see it, but again, because that means we will have to reflect and say, well, we are the problem, but we don't want to change. We want to blame everyone else, and we don't want to change.
Right.
So we do. What do we do? I don't care what nobody say. We keep saying, "Oh, it's the white team, man." And, you know, I'm so sick of hearing that. I hear that all day on TikTok. They make all type of excuses why they're not successful, why they don't have a job, why they don't have a house, why they don't have money. But guess what, Ray, baby? You ask them, you know, what they don't have, they say, "Oh, well, I have a business, so I make this, so I make that." Well, if you do that, then what are you complaining about? And where is this that's happening if you don't experience, but you ask this to everybody and they don't experience, but it happens so much. Exactly. But you know who they're gonna blame when the black man says, it's because of the system. If it ain't the white T man, it's the black single mother. That's who it is. Those are the culprits in society that a black man can't make it.
Yeah.
Those are the culprits. They blame that not because they didn't get educated, not because they didn't do right, not because they running around with their pants sagging,
right?
Not because they're smoking. No, that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I agree.
But they want to blame, not because they're not in the house with their children, they're not responsible men. That has nothing to do with it.
Right. I never understood why the men are blaming other people for something that you like. I've never been taught. Like my father never taught me to be like to blame other people for my own shit. I used to get my ass whooped for doing shit that I wasn't supposed to. And he let me know, like, these are the consequences of your actions. This is why I've never been to prison, because I had consequences behind everything I did in my household. So it taught me consequences. And I never could blame nobody else for what I did. I would get popped. Why did you leave your book bag at school? Oh, because I was trying to rush out with my friends. Oh, so your friends made you do it, even though I told you to bring your book bag home. You let your friends influence you. So I couldn't get away with that shit. So I'm not sure why these men out here are blaming other people for their own shit. Probably because most of them didn't grow up with their father. Maybe. I don't know.
But then they'll they'll say, well, she should have chose better. It's so funny. It's only one-sided. She should have chose better.
Nah, it go both ways. It go both ways.
It goes both ways. But nobody's seeing that though.
Yeah, they definitely do. They definitely do go both ways.
It's so sad though. So sad. It's like, are you serious? But media will show you all the negative in the black community, and guess what? That's shown around the world. Like when back in the day when we used to see Africa, what did they show? They always showed a child with flies flying around their face, bellies big, and that was in Africa everywhere. That was in that area, but they made you believe because they wanted you to send that 50 cents or whatever it was they was asking for. Mm-hmm. So they made you believe all of Africa was starving when that was not the case. So that's the same thing that they're doing now.
Yeah.
There is an agenda to make us bad, and we feed into it in other countries to it because when they see what they show about black women and black men, they already have judged us, and they already, when they come here, they have an attitude. They're taught that they're better than us, and it's sad because that's not the majority of black people.
Yeah.
You're usually going to see that in a low-income area. because there is a correlation with ignorance and poverty. But they're never going to tell you that.
Right.
You are right. I came from a line, and the girl was trying to explain, like, if you go into an interview where clothes that aren't professional or wearing what you want to wear just because you don't want to fit the stigma of, I guess, the white man's view of professionalism, then you probably won't get the job. So they took her words and said, are you saying black people don't dress good to go to interviews? Like, that's not what she said. Exactly. We turn it around. We always want to flip it for the reasons I don't understand. Just to hold yourself back. Because let's think about it. Let's think about reality. If this is a world that's run by the white team, right? There's certain things you have to go by because you don't control this. So what you have to do is you have to learn them. Okay? Then you have to you play it, you have to learn it. Then you have to become it in order to overcome and beat it. But we always want to act like we want to fight the system. You don't even know it. Don't you know that they learned about our culture? They learned about what we liked. I remember growing up in New York.
Started at 12. We got there at 12:10. But whenever we got there at 12:10, everybody was already sat down and eating. I didn't know that. I use this illustration to point out that different cultures have different understandings of time, lateness, and what it means to be polite. Without fail, a white person will push back and say that lateness is impolite.
Imagine showing up late to a function.
Nikes that they had, the ones that they play golf, the ones that were cleats, not the ones that you show off with. No, it wasn't about that. So they sold different type of shoes depending on the community.
Being on time is white supremacy because what are they always on time to do? Oppress.
Like that in the Hamptons, like that. Those kids wasn't buying that.
But do you remember there were people, being unalive because of, Jordan shoes?
Oh, absolutely.
Being on time is white supremacy.
This is so true.
We made Michael Jordan.
When I was in grade 11, I got expelled from a
kid. Most white kids don't buy his stuff like that. We do.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger, I wanted some damn Jordan shoes so bad. And I had, because we had a deal if I made my grades and shit. This was first grade. So if I made my grades, I was able to get some shoes, right? And my dad took me to go to the little shoe store around the block, and I wanted some J's off rip. Like, yeah, let me get some Jordans. The reason why I couldn't get Jordans was specifically because kids my age was getting killed for shoes, so I couldn't have them.
Absolutely. I don't know if you heard of. Are you from the West Coast?
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, okay. Well, there was a school. I don't know if you ever heard of. Remember, there was a movie. I don't know who you are, but there was a movie where what was the guy name? Well, anyway, he was trying to change his school, and they used to call him Crazy Joe or whatever. I think it was called Lean on Me. Yeah, I think the movie was called Lean on Me.
Okay,
and
yeah.
It showed how the principal took over his school because the kids were bad, and he changed it. So I was also living in Brooklyn, and I went to a school called Boys and Girls High School.
Mm-hmm.
The Boys and Girls High School, it was kind of like that. The kids were bad. They weren't doing what they were supposed to do. More were in the hallway than were in class until we had a principal who I'll never forget, named Mr. Mickens. Mr. Mickens said, this is how it's going to be. You couldn't wear 3-finger rings. You couldn't wear earrings more than 2 inches. You couldn't wear a skirt that was above your knees. He put in a dress code because in certain clothes you couldn't wear. You couldn't wear bomber jackets because we had several young men get unalive because of what they wore.
Mm-hmm.
So he said he didn't want to lose any more students.
My husband and I were late to our first Thanksgiving with his family. I say late because it started at.
You couldn't have what back in the day.
We got there at 12:10. Everybody was already sat down and eating. I didn't
None of
know
those things you could come into the school with. And he changed his school. He changed that school where now the kids strive for education and wasn't there for popularity contests. It wasn't about what you wore. It was more about because he got everybody out of their hallways. You had to be in classroom. He had all his guards who would be in the hallway. If you class, you was kicked out. So now you went to school to learn. You didn't go to school to be a clown and act stupid in the hallway. You went to school to learn. And he changed that school. He was on like Ebony and all, but it was called, the name was Mr. Micken from Boys and Girls High School. I think we need to get back to that.
Yeah.
I think we got to have a dress code in the school. First of all, if you look back in the 50s and 60s, just look back. Black men did not dress like that.
Right.
They cared about how, even though they were going through what they were going through with civil rights, they still dressed appropriately.
They had class. Black people had way more class back in the day.
They had class. That means something. And that's what we don't have today. People respect the way you look. What you look like represents something. And we don't want to do that.
But even with today, but see, here's the thing though. This is what bothers me though. It's like they will literally try to flip everything to racism. So if you say, hey, black man, dress well, pull your pants up, dress nicer, get a clean shaven. They attribute that to white supremacy because, for number one, they think that why does a black man have to dress like this? Why can't I dress the way I dress and be accepted for who I am? Or two, they will say that even if a black man does dress this way, he's still going to be looked at like a thug. And I just completely disagree with both of those things.
It's so ignorant.
It's ridiculous.
Any excuse will do when you want to do what you want to do. You'll make up anything to justify your behavior.
Yep.
So that's all it is, to justify not doing right. So you'll never win. Again, that's the mentality of the white T man is holding me down. So that's why they will never get ahead, because mentally, again, they took the chains off your hands and your feet and they put it around your head. So now you think you are still enslaved because of your mentality.
Yep.
And then when I say this, you call me Candace Owens.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll be that. I'll be Candace Owens.
Because common sense is that they insult you for having common sense these days. It's like you're a Candace Owens. Why? Because she's talking about real shit. She's talking about real things. Or they call you a tap dancer, a white man, or a white woman, or a bed wench, or you know what I'm saying? It's like, what?
Oh yeah, on TikTok, I've heard it all. I've been dropping panels and all, just because I'm saying stop blaming someone else for your poor behavior.
Yep.
It's your choice. You did that. If anybody got some gripe with YT people, we're talking about our great-grandparents who was actually being mistreated at that time, and they didn't have certain rights. Don't you know that they're rolling in their graves right now to see that what they unalive for, we did not take advantage of.
Yeah, that's a fact.
We have not taken advantage of everything that they have unalive for. So why did they? So what did they do all of that for? If we're still blaming the YT man, what did they do it for? In vain?
Pretty much. That's what I think. I think they did it in vain. I think it was for nothing. They blame the YT man. They're asking the same people that they say is racist towards them and don't want them to move forward in life. You're begging them for something that you're not going to get. You're begging them for something that you are not entitled to, whether it's reparations, land, whatever. It's like, bro, this conversation has been over with for a long time now. You're not going to get either of those things. You have a better chance of achieving those things if you work for it.
On your own.
Yes.
If you believe, if they're not giving you nothing now, you say that they're oppressing you, then why do you think they're going to give you something? And how long do you think it's going to take? In your lifetime? Do you think it's going to happen in your lifetime? So that means you'll never progress. You'll stay poor. You'll do nothing because you're waiting for a handout,
right,
or you're waiting for something that your ancestors should have gotten. Not you.
Right.
Not you.
Yep.
So you're going to say, I'm not going to have anything life. I'm going to sit here and complain and be at the bottom of the barrel until this white teeth man give me what he owed me.
Yeah.
You sound stupid.
Sound ridiculous. It's quite ridiculous. If anybody deserves anything, it's the people that went through it. But the people today, they complain way more than people did back in the day. From what I remember, people back in the day, they was more self-reliant than we are today with the shit that's going on right now. They wasn't begging nobody for shit. They had to move on with their life.
But they knew they had it harder. They had it harder than us. And guess what? They were still able to have Black Wall Street.
Exactly.
They were still able to make a way out of nowhere.
There were still thriving middle-class Black communities during Jim Crow that people don't talk about. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
They were still able to do it. They were still able to do it because they didn't have certain things that was given to them. These people today giving too much, actually. And this is something I said, and I know people will probably be upset about what I'm going to say, but I think that this is just my perception. There is no control. Like, these people are out of control. Literally are out of control.
Okay.
Well, maybe I'm not saying everybody. Some people may need to be slaves again to be in control. I'm saying because they are out of control. There needs to be some control with some people.
They don't know what they don't know what hard times is. They might need to go back to those days.
Right. I said, well, maybe they need to be slaves, but they really understand some control.
Too far. I've been quiet this time because I just been observing what you guys been saying, and I am like I'm appalled. Like, it's like, who needs white people as enemies when we have y'all in our community? Like, y'all literally just sat here and are basically just shitting on Black people for what benefit? You're shitting on Black. You can't tell. No. Let me finish. No, yes you are. But you can't tell somebody. No, let me finish. You're not gonna sit here and tell a marginalized group of people that's been marginalized in this country since our inception in this country. You're not gonna sit here and tell us that we need to just pull ourselves up out of bootstraps and do this and do that and just stop begging and doing all this stuff. Ain't nobody begging. We're demanding. And if that's a difference between begging and demanding, we're not begging nobody for shit. Back in those days, they were begging for them to help them and for them to do something for them. We're not begging for nothing. We're not begging. We're not whatever. We're literally demanding. And for y'all to sit up here and say that we're just like I know. So what have our demands not gotten us? What have our demands not gotten us? What you have today mean? Okay, so what do you? So what you're speaking on? So what you're speaking on is not giving any insight of how shit can change. All you're doing is spewing anti-Black ass bullshit. Because if you was really on some real, I'm Black and I'm pro-Black and I want to get my Black community standing on 10 toes down, then you wouldn't be up here. You would see, that's your problem. You're pro-people. I'm pro-Black, honey. I care about my
Here's my question though. This is the host. Hold on. This is the host. Here's my question though. Why y'all pro-Black motherfuckers ain't did nothing for years? Y'all been pro-Black. Y'all been pro-Black for 70+ years. You motherfuckers ain't did nothing. Y'all still waiting on Dr. Umar. Y'all still waiting on Dr. Umar's school. Y'all still waiting for reparations. Y'all still waiting for the government to do shit for you. Y'all motherfuckers are literally begging. You can't demand shit when you think the people over you are superior to you. You ain't demanding nothing. You're begging. They already told you they ain't giving you shit. They already told you ain't getting nothing. They already told you that you ain't getting no fucking land. You ain't getting no fucking reparations. You ain't getting no money. You ain't getting nothing. So what is it that you're demanding? You're not demanding anything. You're begging. You're begging. You're begging. You're begging. Begging. That's why you came up on here on 10. You came up here on 10 because people like you don't want to work. The way you come up on here ignorant, I can tell already. You don't want nothing. You don't want to earn nothing. You want everything given to you. The way you talking, The way you talking, you sound like a hood rat. And most of y'all motherfuckers that's lower income in these ghetto neighborhoods, that where y'all come from, y'all can't even take care of your own fucking neighborhood, but you want some fucking reparations. How about you start starting your fucking neighborhood? How about you starting your own neighborhood first? How about that? How about that?
Okay, I have a question. I have a question. When you're going to these inner cities and there's dirt and garbage everywhere, who did that? The white man came and threw the
They
trash
did that.
in the
You know what's crazy? You know.
No, the white man came in the neighborhood and he threw shit all over the community. He spray painted the front of your homes. He did all of that.
Here's the crazy part. You know some of these neighborhoods didn't start off like that. They ended up being like that because when we got there, we fucked it up. And y'all saying we shitting on black people. Y'all saying we shit. It's a mentality. This ain't got nothing to do with black people at all. This is a mentality that we trying to get rid of, and y'all defending it. And then you get mad at motherfuckers like us for saying that this shit is whack. And then y'all get mad and you come up here on 10. We talking about why are we defending negative shit? Y'all get up here to defend it. It's crazy.
I want to say something to this person who said, you pull yourself up by the bootstraps. And yes, you need to. Let me tell you, I grew up in the hood. Okay, I was a homeless teenager. I went to school, got educated. I'm a real estate investor. I'm a nurse practitioner. I didn't blame anybody for anything. I worked. When I didn't have, I made a way. Was the system there to help me? The system there to help you get ahead, not for you to live on and use it as a crutch. So when people be complaining, I don't want to hear it. I know what you can do. You choose not to. So all this pro-black, ain't nothing wrong with being pro-people. What's wrong with that? We all trying to survive out here, black and white. So I don't care. As black people, we're not supposed to be treated any better. So, because what difference is it if they treat us like that? We didn't like it, so why would we treat anybody else the way we didn't like to be treated? It's like we're doing reverse racism.
Exactly, and it ain't getting nobody nowhere. It ain't getting you nowhere. It ain't gonna do nothing but cause a problem.
Right, all we doing is fighting and arguing for nothing. But you are responsible for your own destiny.
You can't even come up here. You can't even come up here and have a regular conversation. And this is what most of y'all do who feel strongly about this pro-black shit. Y'all can't even come up here and have a regular conversation without jumping on 10. And this is the problem in our community. Everything that has to do with being positive, y'all don't care about that. Y'all love negativity. The first time, you didn't have to come up here and do that. You came back up here and you came right up here and jumped on 10. This is the problem in our community, bro, right now. Because every time something go bad, we jump on 10. We don't take a second to count to fucking 10 first and think about, is this situation, does this require me to act this way? And then you wonder why people look at you a certain way. Y'all can't, you can't come up here and do that.
And they want to say it's because of us. What am I doing? You know what? It ain't me because I don't rob nobody. I haven't killed anybody in my neighborhood. I haven't been to jail, so I'm not the problem. Hi, good evening, everybody.
What's going on?
A lot, as you guys are discussing. A lot is going on with the black family, the black community, individuals. The system. We're in the midst of a presidential election, but we should be involved in all elections, local, your local, your state, your county, your federal. People don't even know who their local representatives are. They don't even know how to access the system. Most people don't even know how it all works. They just know about voting for the president. I know. Even if you did follow your local and you said, I'm going to choose that person, people can say anything. You never know how they're going to be until they get into office. Yeah, but you still got to, Because if that's fine. But my argument is this: you can participate, yeah, you can do your part, but if it doesn't change, what are you going to do? Yeah, so it will change though. It will change. Look at the white tea community. We talked about the white tea community, how they roll. We talked about other populations, not just white is a big population. It's not a lot of us in office. Not a lot of us are white. But I'm talking about in our own communities. Okay, so when you have a community that's more than 60% demographic is black, your government should be working for you across the board, not just in your mayor. I mean, you look at Baltimore, for instance. You look at other cities that have black mayors. St. Louis, you got a young, beautiful black woman over there running St. Louis, Missouri, right? And we all know what happened in St. Louis, right? So what should they be doing for black people? Fixing the crime rate? I mean, just hear me out. So at the local level, you have your mayor, you have your council, but you also have other boards that focus on, when you talk about housing, you got your zoning board, you got your planning board, you have your parking authority, you have your housing authority, you have all these boards besides that. And in a lot of black communities where there is even a small population of white people, go look at their boards and see who's on them. Just today, current events, right? It was at Tennessee State University and University of Tennessee, right? The state gave Tennessee State a bailout packet, billions of dollars to fund that historically black university, right? So, but they got rid of the whole board, and most of the board was black. And these are the things that I'm hoping, but Tennessee, they're very politically active a lot of times. So I know that they'll probably challenge that. But they challenged they helped the two black legislators out for 2 years ago, I believe. They tried to unseat them illegally. But again, in your own community where you're 60% large, there's no way you should have sellouts sitting on your council, sell out black mayors, right? If you have, let's say, who's the young man in Baltimore, Brandon Scott? He stood up. I mean, 10 toes down because he was knowledgeable. He understands how it works. So you're not participating, you're just sitting on the bench and you're on TikTok spewing bull. You need to be on one of these boards instead of having these white people, Hispanic people taking all the resources from your community and making all the decisions and allocating the money to their streets and to their neighborhoods instead of our own neighborhoods. Okay, I'm glad you said that. So in order to make the change, you must be part of that change, right? So that means you need to be educated. Okay? Yeah, no. How do you sit on a board? How do you be part of a Congress? How do you be any of that if you don't know any of it? Well, that's not true. All right, so again, if you look at the boards, I mean, I know in my city, and a lot of folks are starting to participate now because you got to give the people information. If you're so educated, give the people information. Heavy is the head that rules the crime. So you yourself have to get on the board. That's the way it works. But then you got some black people who are educated will say once they get their education, they don't come back to the hood. Okay, they go and they live in the suburban towns and they buy their big, beautiful, nice home in neighborhoods like I don't know, what's the Buckhead and all those neighborhoods, right? Right. So you're telling me if you live in a community that's crime ridden, you go to school, you get educated, you're gonna move back into that crime ridden neighborhood? Yeah, you do. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
that's a load of horse shit.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah. So let's go to Brooklyn and Harlem. It's a safety issue. It has nothing to do with not like it's not a safety issue. Okay, that's your opinion. So let's look at other cities. Let's go around. Look what Brandon Scott did. He's right in the heart of Baltimore. Look what the young sister did. She in St. Louis. She came from Hampton University. She's the mayor of her city. St.
Louis, Missouri is still top 10 murderous cities in the United States, though.
That's right, but she's there. She ran for mayor. She went back. So I'm saying a lot of black cities, a lot of black sisters and brothers have gone. I'm sorry. Does she live in the city? You say you're educated. You know you can't run for mayor office unless you live in that jurisdiction, right? You got to be a resident to run for your local office. sure her neighborhood is decent. I'm pretty sure her neighborhood.
St. Louis? No. She lives in St. Louis. Are you not hearing?
Okay.
St. Louis is not decent. That's where the Michael Brown murder happened. That's where police brutality. That's where Eric Holder, the Attorney General under Barack Obama, did the Department of Justice investigation. I'm sorry, what city you live in? You don't mind my asking? The real? Not city. I'm sorry.
Oh, I live in Virginia.
Okay, you're in Virginia. The DMV. So you're down there with Brandon Scott, Mayor Brandon Scott in Baltimore, outside of Baltimore, close to
Maryland. I'm in Virginia.
I know, but you're on the border there, right?
Yeah.
You're part of DMV. You know what the DMV stands for?
Yes, I do.
That's what I just said. So you're part of DMV. You're one of the, a demographic. You have that demographic. You have a highly educated demographic in that jurisdiction. So there's no way. You got a black governor in Maryland. You got black mayors all over the place down there. So what's going on? So you got to ask that question. So to your point, there's a lot of selling. Get them out of there. Get your friends. But don't. So get you. When you run for office, it's like be the change that you want to see. Be the change that you want to be. So
see that I do. I'm already on the board in my community. I mean, people might not think it's like a big deal, but I'm part of an HOA. That's part of the community. That's the same thing that goes on outside too. Trust me, the same thing we're doing. It's not.
You're talking about. You said you're on an HOA. Okay, I participate on my HOA too.
I'm part of my HOA board, so I know how it is. Well, HOA board, everybody